those of you who have actually read book 1, volume 1 in the series, you recognize this scene at the beginning of the book. Genda Swain is the main character in book 1, and it opens with exactly the same scene, but told from Genda's point of view. So now we get to find out what happened to Malia and why is she an old woman when it's not necessary at all to be an old woman. So does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask about the book, the world, me? Yeah.
Will the third book be from another character's perspective, or
Yeah.
will it be a continuation of the story?
Yeah, the third book, I mean, I will tell you whose point of view you get in the third book. The third book is, the main character is Genda's brother, Jonathan, who is a very minor character in the first book. And it actually picks up where book 1 left off. This one has a large chunk of it that's really kind of a prequel that kind of gives you the background of what was happening, because if you've read the first one, you know Genda didn't remember anything hardly. So yeah, it's a third one, and I really enjoy the challenge of creating a world and then thinking about how different characters in different situations would experience that same world. It's, as an anthropologist, I find it a challenging thing to do, and it's working so far, I think. So, what else? Yes.
So given what you've just said, are you familiar with the Alexandria Quartet by Lawrence Durrell?
Should I add that to my list of things I really ought to read?
Well, you know, he did something similar. The story is very different. Set in Alexandria, and it's pretty much set at the time that he's writing.
Mm-hmm.
The second volume gives a different twist on what happened from a different perspective, and then the third one is different yet. So I thought maybe that's where you got the idea.
No, ideas just kind of, you know, they're floating around out there, and various people get the same idea from time to time.
So,
yeah.
So what was the inspiration as far as coming up with this world to begin with?
You know, I have to be very honest with you. A lot of my impetus for writing this, and a lot of the pleasure that I've taken in working with this, has been working with my own insecurities about aging. And thinking about, really, what would a world be like if nobody aged? I mean, if you looked around in this room and everybody in here looked the same age, like 22, you know, and you had no idea if someone was your own age, if someone was the age of your grandmother, you would have no idea. It's kind of bizarre. And then, you know, that naturally led into contemplation of what would happen to memory in such a world. Because I'm beginning to have difficulties dealing with the memories of my mere 67 years. What if I were 200? And in these books, people are assisted in managing their memories by some of the major corporations, including a major social media corporation called Your Journal. So
Sounds kind of like vampires sans the supernatural aspect. Like modern day technological vampires.
cognitive vampires, perhaps, you know, that just suck the memories out of your head. And yeah, well, no, and I'm also someone who, when I write science fiction, and it's really not science fiction in, oh gosh, science fiction covers such a huge territory. But I do ground my ideas in real stuff. I mean, there are experiments currently going on with photonic cognitive structuring that is what kind of sparked me into some of the things that I developed in these books as how they're managing people's memories. It's through these photonic means. The drug is, you know, there are people doing research out there in these kinds of things. So it's none of it is beyond the reach of plausibility. I'll put it that way. And one of my reviewers said that's what makes my books really scary, even though the stories are not violent at all. Well, maybe a little bit from time to time. But it's the fact that some of these things could actually happen. So, anything else? Is it time? Is my time up? Are we ready to move to Chris now? Are there any more questions? We can do one more if someone has a question. Yes?
Well, it seems really disrupting, so I'm wondering what all kinds of other effects, besides like memory and not recognizing what age people are. I mean, or you have overpopulation, or...
People stop having children. People stop having children. There's no point.
That have to.
And what, I mean, there are a number of things. People stop engaging in risky sports and behaviors because the only way you die is through accidents and you know, violent encounters. And so people become very cautious about those kinds of things because, you know, it's not like, I mean, we look around and we do these things and it's like, well, YOLO, you know, you only live once. So, you know, it's like I just as well to, you know, grab for all the gusto and go do all kinds of exciting things, but if you're not gonna die, it becomes a different thing to consider. Thanks. All right, thank you very much.